In a game where pretty much everybody expected, somebody to win, hopefully, between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos, it was an interesting one. It really was. But I think overall, the Raiders, they did what they had to do. They had to leave no doubt, one of the greatest football movies of all time. But we've got our usual edition of Standouts and FIZZOUTS because Pop, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Apparently can't speak today. Let us know what you drink in the comment section down below. Is it Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, or Diet Dr. Thunder, whatever it is, the great value brand that you guys love. But overall, we've got Standouts and FIZZouts, guys that stood out and fizzled out yesterday. And, it really was a good game. Like, both sides really having guys that stood up, and at the same time, it was ugly in other regards. We'll get right into it now. So, we got to start by talking about the Raiders. We'll go ahead and start with them. So you got to start by talking about Davante Adams and Derek Carr. So Derek Carr finished the night respectfully, 23 of 37 for 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Honestly, he was a guy that just kept this offense going. It was honestly one of his most efficient and best games of the season against a defense that actually is kind of respectable. So I think it was a big game from Derek Carr, able to spread the ball around pretty well as well. And I really like what I saw from him. But I think that there was really put forward. It was really orchestrated by Josh Jacobs. 24 carries, 109 yards. Also had 3 catches for 51 yards too. So 160 all-purpose yards on the day. And it really came down to the fact that, he really was the glue and he is the glue that holds this team together. Because without Josh Jacobs, things would get ugly really quick. And so, yeah, Josh Jacobs over 160 yards on the day. Davante Adams, the man, the myth, the legend, the man of the hour, 7 catches, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I really like what Mac Hollins brought to the Raiders as well, especially when you consider the fact that this team is really in desperate need of that number 2 guy to stand up for a guy like Hunter Renfrow. So really liked what I saw from Mac Hollins. Josh Jacobs was that guy as well. Keelan Cole did a very nice job catching that nice pass. What was it, kind of over that middle over there as well. Foster Moreau, just a stone's catch there late in the games too. So overall, you like offensively what the Raiders were able to do, just continue to get things moving and honestly just help this offense really just turn a new leaf. It was really good to see. Also, offensive line, I think that the Broncos, they obviously had a tough time getting to Derek Carr. What did they have? I'm going to look real quick. It was only like 1 sack. Wasn't it Jewel? Yeah, Jewel had the only sack there for the Broncos. So you love the offensive line, the things that they were able to do. And yes, I think that you have to be happy about how they performed as well. Max Crosby, big time winner. Whether it was the blocked kick or that blocked field goal that he had there on the Broncos, or a couple of sacks, or that forced fumble recovery he had, was it on Melvin Ingram? On Melvin Gordon, excuse me. Like, literally, it was the reason he got cut today. Ugh, not great. But you really do like to see that. Just Max Crosby, just the leader in all facets on this defense, and just continually brings it and does his thing as well. You gotta love him because he sets the tone up front. Really, also the defensive line. I was very, very pleased with the defensive line as well. The Broncos had a tougher time running the football, and believe it or not, there was a couple of guys that got after it. Tyler Hall, the rookie, getting that sack. That's another thing too. The Raiders have shown an ability to find those corners that were undrafted or late round guys like Tyler Hall, Sam Webb, even guys like Nate Hobbs that show up and just play well for your team. So they find those guys that can come in. You love to see it. Tyler Hall, like we mentioned, got his first career sack, and but really that defensive line as a whole really showed me that they're not going down without a fight. We saw Bilal Nichols get a couple of pressures there. I like what I've seen from Andrew Billings pretty much all year. I would still like to see more Malcolm Kuntz, but I may be beating a dead horse here at this point overall. But also Daniel Carlson, I know he missed that field goal. And you know what? It is definitely a bummer. But as a Vikings fan, watching this guy miss, 3 field goals against the Packers a couple of years ago, and then become an all-pro, go on a streak for the ages, and just be that guy for the Raiders, I love to see it. I'm so happy for Daniel Carlson. He just continues to get the job done. Yes, you're mad that he missed that, but was absolutely nails all day long. Otherwise, had that 57-yard field goal. And honestly, he was an absolute stud. So you really like what the Raiders were able to do there offensively, and defensively. You did a lot of good things against, albeit, we'll be honest here, it was definitely a struggling unit there for the Denver Broncos. But overall, very good stuff from the Raiders here. Really would like to see that defensive line continue to get after it. As for the Broncos, Russell Wilson is a guy that, to me, I don't think he's awful, but it wasn't great. I would like to, he's clearly not the same player he was. I really need him to step it up. That offensive line, to me, also has been in shambles in a lot of cases, like we touched on earlier. Also, Melvin Gordon, fumbling away that ball in the red zone there. It's been kind of a thing all year long. Latavius Murray, 17 carries, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Still getting it done there as well. Courtland Sutton, though, whether it was that amazing over-the-shoulder grab, during the game, as well as Kendall Hinton really showing up as well. Definitely more standouts for me. I'll put Russell Wilson and kind of in that fizz out. They obviously traded for him and expected him to lead the charge there. You're not able to get anything going in terms of running the football. And that was overall. Oh, by the way, Greg Dulcich, he's definitely a good tight end to go after in fantasy as well. So defensively, Josie Jewell really set the tone for me. I felt like he did a really good job. He kind of set the tone in terms of getting that Derek Carr sack early. But after that, the defense, they couldn't stop the run. And they let Derek Carr and the rest of the company really get after it there overall. So also, yes, Brandon McManus missing that field goal there. It is what it is. Happens overall, but still a very solid field goal kicker in my mind. I mean, I'm a Vikings fan. I've dealt with a Vikings and a Raiders fan. I've definitely dealt with my bad episodes of bad kickers, but it is what it is. This Denver Broncos team, to me, it's kind of tough, especially when you consider the fact that, again, this is a very talented team, but Nathaniel Hackett, I don't know. He could be fired after this year. We'll have to see what happens overall. And this is just too talented of a team, but it is what it is. The Raiders go out and get another win. What is it, 3-7 on the year now? And it's not over. The Chargers lost yesterday. Also, the Chiefs, they're the clear cut, probably going to be the number one guys there out of the AFC West. But, the Raiders are kind of hanging in there. So if they can continue to hang around and take care of the Chargers later on in the season, if they can go on a little run here, things could be looking up for the Raiders. So definitely a big-time win for the Raiders moving forward, especially in division against your division rival, getting it done. You love to see it. But that's our latest edition of Standouts and Fizzouts. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. In the comment section down below, let us know if we need to cover anything else. Oh, and by the way, Standouts and Fizzouts in the comment section. Let us know what kind of pop you guys drink. Again, Pepsi, Coke, Mountain Dew, Diet Dr. Thunder. Great value kind. You got to love it. But overall, let us know what you guys think about our latest edition of Standouts and Fizzouts for the Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver Broncos matchup.